Assalamu alaikum and good morning, my dear friends. Hope my voice is clear. We'll be waiting for a minute for some of the attendees to join. I think a lot of attendees are joining in now. We'll give a minute time before we start.
No. I'm here. Social distancing.
All right, let's start. As this is being recorded and we'll be posting this into YouTube, appreciate if all our participants, excluding the host, to mute themselves. I think by default it's muted, but if anybody has a permission, please mute themselves. The purpose of this webinar is to assist and help off-road enthusiasts for being better equipped with highest quality of product and knowledge. On an average, I think nowadays the presentation might go up to 30 minutes or 1 hour. First part will be the introduction of 4x4Gulf, and then I'll hand over to titanperformance for the introduction. We'll have question answer session in the end. We'll be having a raffle draw at the end of the webinar, so please stay tuned until end of the session. You may type your questions in the chat box. My dear friends, I'm very excited today, and it's our honor to introduce a well-known off-roader with over 25 years of experience driving in deserts of UAE. Also, multiple winner of Dark Skies Challenges, that too for 3 years in a row, who is also a managing partner of titanperformance, who strongly believes that there should be no compromise when off-roading. Please welcome the one and only Shibu Bhai. Shibu Bhai.
Hi guys. Hi guys.
And we have another off-roader who also won Dark Skies multiple times. He's the garage manager and off-road overland specialist. Please welcome Saeed, who venture into the unknown. These are the key points of contact. Saeed.
Hello. Hi guys.
Welcome, Saeed. Yeah. Before I start the presentation, as usual, let me share with you a presentation. I hope all of you can see the presentation. Anja, can you confirm? Because I won't be able to see the panelist.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let's start. 4x4 Gulf introduction. So these are the key point of contacts we have today, Mr. Shibu and Mr. Saeed. Now, let me ask you a question to all the attendees. What is the thing that is everywhere, but you cannot see? Yeah, it is everywhere. It is there at your house. It is there at your, at your vehicle. It is everywhere, but you cannot see. What is it? Can anybody tell me the thing? The invisible thing that is everywhere. Let me see who answers. I'm giving a few minutes for people to answer. Okay. We have few chats. Oxygen, space. Dominic says air. Jitu says spirit, God, ghost, nothing. No, that's not the answer. Air, no. Anybody else? We are giving you a time to answer it. Happiness, no. Happiness, passion, time, sand, it goes on. Okay. Okay, let me give you the answer. The thing that is invisible and it is everywhere, it is called as risk. Risk is everywhere. Risk of getting your building damaged, vehicle damaged. So what I want to introduce you is how to cover up your risk of insurance of losing your vehicle, while off-roading. You need to have an off-road cover. So I would like to introduce to Mr. Rahul Nair, who's our insurance consultant. You can find his email ID and the mobile number. Please keep in touch with him, for any insurance requirements for your vehicle, for 4x4 vehicle. Okay. My name is Samir Ali. I'm the co-founder of 4x4Gulf. I've been off-roading since a long time, and this is my passion. And we have a network of people who are supporting us. And our partners are Jameen George, Zaid, Zoeb, Rahul, Naju, Maman, Matthews. And we also have our supporting staff, who's Chaco, Sandhu, Pradeep, Dinesh, Ahmed, Salman, Saj, and Shimoli. I'll repeat the presentation because I want people to know what exactly we do. So what we do, 4x4 Gulf, we wish to provide you a platform that is for off-roaders and overlanders with the following. But providing a platform where all off-roaders meet together. In fact, what we are doing now is we encourage a lot of people to do off-roading, and we will be responsible in future to increase the number of off-roaders, as it will help the off-roading community. So we go out to a lot of people, tell them about off-road experience, and then invite them to do off-roading. Thereby, we help the clubs, all the clubs, as well as the garages to have a lot of members into off-roading. We also be providing a platform. By the way, our license is in the process of getting it. So that's why the website is not yet ready. We'll be soon hosting the website once we have all our legal formalities completed. It is on the process. So we'll be providing a platform for all off-roads to meet together, getting the right advices for any upgrades, getting the right suppliers, product reviews, a review on the best garages. That's why we have Titan Performance here. They were reviewed by many people as one of the best garage in UAE itself. And we also need to warn about certain wrong decisions that people make. It's a platform for off-road enthusiasts to come together to buy and sell their product, even set up and plan drives together. If you're stuck anywhere, like anywhere in the desert, in the WhatsApp group, you can seek for help, and then someone should be able to help you. We engage in discussion with suppliers like Titan Performance to get you the right product and services with the best price in market. As I mentioned, this will be our future. We wish to be your one-stop shop for all off-roading requirement. We are setting up a website only focused on 4x4 vehicles. You can, repeating the same thing, buy and sell. On top of that, we also will be providing you insurance, off-road insurance coverages. We'll also be providing you rent-a-car services. Let's say if you want to send your car to Titan for maintenance, we'll be sending you a rent-a-car for a certain period of time by the time your car is fixed. And the car will be coming to Titan Performance, for example. We also will be providing you recovery services if you are having a problem in the desert. We are now available on our website. Is still going on. And we have a YouTube channel, which you want us to have a look at the channel and see what we do there. I have done my first off-roading kit, the skid plates and the kill switch from Titan Performance, and I'm very happy with the way they have done it. People used to call me Samir Titan when I used to be a newbie, because the flag that I used to have used to be the Titan flag. So that's how they used to identify me. I was in, initially I started with Desert Nation, who was headed by Mr. Arif Bhai. So he used to call me Semi Titan. In the same way, I used to be called as the same name even in Adventure Tribe Club. So now, before I hand over, let me show you a short clip, a video clip. before I hand over the stage. Wow, that was a wonderful presentation. So I wish to hand over the stage to Shibubai and Saeed, who's on the other end, to give us a quick company profile and to do the next session. Saeed and Shibubai, you're there?
Hi, everyone. I'll quickly tell you guys about Titan Performance. Basically, the company was started in 2017 with a notion of performance. When we went with that notion, Shibu and his partner, Sir Noble George, thought what would be the perfect caption for the company. We wanted to deliver on quality without compromise. So we thought, since we're a performance garage, let's go with performance without compromise. That has been deeply installed in myself, the other staff members, and we continue to grow as a team. We want to continuously bring the highest of quality standards to the market, whether it's the UAE and the GCC. We are currently the authorized dealers for products such as Rascal Technology USA, Vision X lighting systems, Baha Designs. We are also now the official dealers for KMC HD and fuel wheels, Black Rhino as well. And now we've also acquired the sound deadening and heat insulation products that's also called as STP, which basically keeps the noise and heat down in your cars. We currently are the #1 go-to garage for suspension and fabrication, because all our clients believe that we do not compromise on the quality and finishing for our customers. We make sure that safety is kept at utmost respect for all our customers. We make sure and we think ahead that before we do any job, we put your needs and requirements into the bill. For example, when we're building suspensions, we just don't fit the suspensions. We make it a point to open them up, tune them for your specifications, knowing what you're going to do, whether it's overlanding, whether it's hitting the dunes, whether it's your daily drive car. Our end goal is to satisfy your needs as a customer. So that is our company profile. I'd like to hand it over to you guys for all the questions and answers. So please feel free to ask us, and myself or Shibu will answer them for you.
Yes. Thank you very much.
So let's wait for the questions then, Samir.
Yes, not a problem. Yeah, we'll jump into the question answer session. We have someone who has raised their hand, but before that, let me check the questions in the panel. Hold on, let me just open the panel. So guys, it's a chance for you to ask any questions to the Titan Performance team, and you can get your answers. So don't shy away from asking questions, yeah? So let's us get all the questions ready. Let me open the panel, sorry again, apologize for this. Before that, let me start. Anjia, can you shoot the first poll? Let's have the first poll and see. Can you shoot the first poll, please? Okay, let's start with the first poll. Do modifications to suspension or tires void the warranty? I don't know, yes or no. Let's see what people will react. We'll give you a minute time. Few more seconds to go. Okay, that's it. So do modification to suspension warranty. 45% people said, I don't know. Okay, so 25% said yes. And I mean, 25 said no and 30% said yes. So could you answer on this confusing question that so many people are asking? Do modification to suspension, void warranty. Please go ahead, Shibubai. Yeah.
Hey guys, good morning.
Good
So
morning.
regarding the suspension and the tires, see, it is 2 to 2.5 inch lift kit on a vehicle. It is advisable, which will not have any kind of warranty issues. And if you look at the tires you can go up to certain stages of sizes, which is advisable. If you go oversized, it will affect the suspension component, so that will not be appreciated. So the warranty will not be valid for certain sizes of tires. Okay. For example, now I can talk about the FJ Cruiser. Okay. The maximum size of the tire you can go to 285, 70, or 17. Okay. If you go more than that, it will affect the driveline complaints. It can damage your power steering systems and your differentials, and it can reduce the power of the vehicle too. So this is the maximum size which is allowed, okay, and it will help you to on and off road, and it will reduce the fuel consumption also. If you go more than that, it will affect many components. So as a warranty is concerned, you have to stick on the certain specification by the company. Okay, you can do a marginal difference on vehicles. Okay, so suspension, as I mentioned you, 2 to 2.5 inch lift kit is acceptable, and certain stages of sizes of tires which are acceptable by the agencies and the governments too. Okay, so an example, like, previously we are not at all allowed to do any kind of modification to the vehicle, especially suspensions and tires. Okay, but nowadays it's not the scenario. The company itself is understand that when you're off-roading, you need a little bit clearance on it. So as a SUV cars, as 4x4 cars, it is mandatory to have minimum 2 to 2.5 inch suspension systems to have a better control over the vehicle and to have a ground clearance, and it is acceptable. I don't think there is a warranty claim on it, and the warranty being awarded. I mean, see, there is a vehicle which is a FJ Cruiser as well as Jeep Wrangler. These are the most common vehicle for off-roading purposes. Both the vehicles, the companies are awarding warranties with a 2-inch lift and certain sizes of tires. I hope it is understood.
Yes, that's a nice answer. There is another question coming from Kiko. Any of the Baja design lights has RGB backlight that you provide?
See, we have two different companies lights available, which is VisionX, which is made in America, and the Baja lights. We do have the Baja lights available and the VisionX available. Both have RGB facilities are there.
Perfect. He asks, repeats again, how much percent does Titan has a Jeep JL specific items? Maybe quick samples.
Could you repeat
So he's just asking, I think, like you do Jeeps, and how many Jeeps does you do? So he just want to feel confidence that you're also working with Jeeps.
See, actually, Titan as a modification garage, we are not only limited to Jeep. As you understand, he asked a question. See, we are doing all kind of vehicles. Okay, so Jeep is one of the vehicles. So we are not, as you say, there are garages specialized for one particular vehicle. No, we are specialized for all the off-road vehicles. So we are multi-skilled, multi-performance garage.
That's good to know, because people used to ask me who are professional for Jeeps, who are professional for FJs. They have this in their mind that for Jeeps it's a different agency, for particular vehicle it's a different agency. But good to know that Titan takes care of all the vehicles.
Yes, we do all kind of vehicles.
Yeah. Mohammed Chen asked a question. Hi, can you advise if you can do a kill switch for ABS and airbags for Ford Raptor? Can it be hidden so that it can avoid warranty issues? Do you do additional transmission cooler for avoiding overheating in the desert? Does it affect warranty? Now, this is a very, very common question asked by so many people, that if they put a kill switch, it voids warranty. But is there any way that they can have the kill switch in a way that it can be removed and they don't have a warranty issue? That is the main point of the question. And the
Yeah.
second thing is for his Raptor, he just need to have the same thing. And the other thing is, when you put a kill switch, does it deactivate the airbags as well with the kill switch, or it has anything to connected with the airbags? So that's the thing that they're asking.
Okay. Regarding the Ford Raptor, okay, you can have a kill switch for traction and stability and ABS. You can have a kill switch. Okay, that can be made in a way that company cannot be understandable, but or we can give a portable type. Then when they wanted to go for a servicing, he can just unplug the cables, so they don't understand where these cables are going, where it's connected to. Okay, that is regarding concern about the warranty is concerned. Okay, as a functionality is concerned, traction, stability, and ABS, we can have one kill switch. Okay. Whereas airbag in a Ford is concerned, it is bit difficult because the company has a safety measures. Okay. As we are not, they are not looking after the Middle East market. It is an international market, especially in the US. Okay. They can't 100% disable the airbag systems. Okay. See what is happening. It is a multiple functions given to the airbag system. So if you disable the airbag system, there are many other functions will not be activated. So it is not possible to 100% disable the airbag system. Okay. At the same time, the vehicle has an off-road mode that it is working on 80 to 90% of airbag deactivations. Okay, so this is, we tried our level best to deactivate airbag systems. We tried in Ford F-150 as well as the Ford Raptor, but it is not possible because it is linked to multiple functions. So if you deactivate one function, there are multiple functions will not be activated. So it is not advisable and not possible to do a airbag kill switch for Ford Raptor.
Okay, that's other question I want to ask myself on this is that I've seen FJ Cruisers and Nissan Pathfinders. Uh, they have their airbags coming out during off-roading when they hit bumps or something like that. Is there any suggestions that you can say that we can take some precautive measures for that not to happen?
Yes, see, as I mentioned, you, apart from Ford F-150s and Raptors, for any Toyota vehicles, any Nissan vehicles, we can have two kill switch, one exclusive for airbag, one for the traction and the ABS, possible. And we are doing, including the Lexus vehicles. So we are done to the LS 570 and the GS 460. We are done the airbag kill switch as well as the traction kill switch. One example, I have a 4Runner. I also have the similar issues. So I disable the airbag as well as the traction. Possible.
Now,
Perfect.
going to the
Yeah.
where the person that asked for the airbags to be disconnected on the Raptor. As for what Shibu says, there's many reasons why it's not disconnected, especially when you drive it in off-road mode for the Raptors. it is better for you to drive it in that mode than to disengage the airbag. Because a lot of people who have installed skill switches for their airbags in their Raptor, it blows off. The reason why it blows off in the Raptors or in any truck, there is a leveling ball which acts as the mechanism for the airbags. So whenever you're crossing or at any angle, the airbags could deploy. That is why we tell the drivers who are driving trucks to first stabilize their vehicles. You understand that's me when I say that they need to stabilize their
Okay.
vehicles in the sense to avoid the issue of the airbags deploying. The reason why the airbags mostly deploy is because the ball senses that the car has gone or has reached a certain angle. It's just a safety precaution. Now, when we're going towards the oil coolers and transmission heating issues, we currently install for all our vehicles the TrueCool brand. The reason why we're installing the TrueCool brand is tried and tested. We have tested it on many vehicles, including American and Japanese vehicles. So from Jeeps all the way up to the Raptors, we use one brand, and we have solved that issue of the heating of the cars in the desert. And even that, it does not void the warranty. We've also noticed a huge difference in the coolants in the oil cooler temperatures. On previous readings of one car before the installation of the oil cooler, it sat at about 82 degrees. After installation of the oil cooler, it dropped down to 60 degrees. So that's a huge difference in cooling for the cars. It also gives better shifting in the sand. Because usually what happens in the desert, when you're pushing the vehicles hard, eventually after 2 to 3 hours, you notice that your gears are slipping, or sometimes they're upshifting to keep it cool. With the brand that we use currently, all our customers have noticed a huge difference in performance, cooling, and their transmissions are not overheating anymore. So I hope I answered the question for the oil cooler.
Yeah, thank you for that. I have another question from Shimoli Shinoy. She has gone the whole world searching for a Jimny's suspension, in especially, I mean, the whole UAE. This is the reservoir type that she is looking for. And she says, which one would you recommend? And do you guys have a reservoir type of suspension for Jimny 2020?
Okay, regarding this Suzuki Jimny, as we mentioned earlier, we are the official distributor of rod flow suspension from USA, and we have a suspension for Suzuki Jimny. By next week, we are getting our shipment, and it's a 2.0 with the compression adjuster, shock absorber, specially made for Suzuki Jimny. So we can provide the good suspension with the proper tuning for our country. Hope
Perfect.
it can help her.
Yeah, she has another question, the same thing that we discussed, kill switch for Suzuki Jimny, and the the same thing. If you have the kill switch for Suzuki Jimny, yeah.
We can do the kill switch for the traction and ABS. Not a problem. We can do that.
Yeah, and she's worried about the warranty again. So I told her
See,
we can hide it. Yeah, okay.
as mentioned, you like see, these are things are mandatory. Some of the companies they themselves do it on the vehicles with the request of the customers. Some of the companies they don't do it because of the parent company R&D claims, but it is mandatory for an off-roader to disable the traction. So we can have many options to hide the switches and stuff. So I don't think there can be much issue with warranty and stuff.
Yeah. For Jeep Rubicon, is transmission temperature 110 degrees Celsius too much? Any solution you might have other than replacing or adding trans intercooler?
See, as you're talking about the JL, am I right?
Yeah, J.
Okay, the JL, even if it is a Rubicon or a Sahara or a Sport, all vehicle have the overheating problems. Okay, 110, it is not that great. Okay, see, as we tried two vehicles adding a transmission oil cooler, okay, which reduced the temperature from 110 to 102. Okay, that too took a long time to get the temperature higher, but there is a lot of difference in temperature drops. Okay, so this is a common complaint that transmission temperature issues there on the Jeep Wrangler JL for a long time. If you push the car a lot, especially you are continuously climbing the dunes, there is this issue happening. So 108 up to 108, it is considered as a normal phenomena. If more than 108, it is overheating. So adding see, we already discussed about this matter to the technical department of trading enterprises. They haven't come up with any kind of solution, but they are working something to add a extra oil cooler to solve these issues. But as strongly believe that oil cooler is mandatory for the jail.
Perfect. How often, that is Rahul Nair, how often do you recommend a weekly off-roader to have their vehicle checked up by a professional? And how much do you guys charge for it? I think the charges we can speak later, but that is what he wants to know. If you want to disclose the charge, it is up to you. We are open.
See,
But you want to discuss about it, it's fine. But I think this is a good question, because they need a doctor to check up their vehicle every time to make sure that the vehicle is running in a good condition. So what are the hints and points that would recommend an off-roader to how frequently he has to come and check up his vehicle?
okay, see, regarding inspection of a vehicle, see, just imagine in a month, 4 times we off-road it, okay? And my personal opinion, as a being an off-roader, okay, every vehicle has to be checked once in a month. It's a must, because see, the way we use it in the desert, we don't know what all things get damaged, what all nut bolts are loose, and all things lubrication, all of them get dried out because of the sandblast and stuff. Okay. One of the very important things I just wanted to bring about the Toyota vehicles, the drive shaft, okay, need to be properly lubricated, okay, once in a month at least, because this lubrication gets dried out because of the usages, okay. So once in a month, if you can do a periodical inspections, that will help your car for a long life. And see, sometimes what happen, I see in many customers, they don't even even clean the air filter after the drive. They'll wait till the 8,000, 10,000 kilometer to complete to do the service and the cleaning the air filters, which also I've seen it. So, and it can cause a lot of issues. I think all off-roaders know that. See, as soon as enter to the desert, within half an hour to 1 hour, the filters get blocked. So once the filter gets blocked, the power issues are coming on the vehicles, and you continue keeping for 10,000 kilometers, so it can damage your engine. And what is happening here, the sand particle goes to the oil and mix with the oil, and the life of your engine will affected. So I personally suggest at least once in a month, everybody has to inspect their vehicle. As as a Titan is concerned, we are charging 100 dirhams for the inspection charges. Plus, we'll be doing the lubrication system as part of that inspection.
That's a good charge, and it's very feasible. One more question that I would like to link with it, when you said about the air box, to make it simple for our newbies. So there are open type, and there are the closed type. Yeah. So we heard that in this country, you need to have the closed type because it might get the heat of the engine as well, so the performance decreases. Um, Assuming that you might need to fix a snorkel which is connected to the airbox. So what would you, I mean, I want you to break this, whatever it is. I mean, what people think about it is that opened or closed, first thing. Should you have an opened airbox or should you have a closed airbox? Second thing, aftermarket airbox, is it better, or the stock is better? Or should you upgrade, for example, I'll give you, FJ Cruiser has a stock airbox. Should we go with a Lexus stock airbox, bigger size? Is this better, or you can have aftermarket airbox? Do you think aftermarket airbox can gradually damage the engine, like you said, if there is a dust coming in, and possibilities of all that? If you could explain about this technology, what will you recommend and what will be better for people to do it?
Okay. See, regarding the air intake systems, okay, it is open filter and the closed filter, and closed filter with the snorkel system. Okay.
Okay.
See, I'll come to the point of open filters. Okay. As an open filter, you know very well, it's completely exposed to heat and exposed to sand and dust particles. In
Correct.
our country, is full time is there's a dust particles and sand always blasting around us. Okay,
Correct.
so see, the thing is, the main problem with the off-roader is concerned with the open filter is like there is a ambient heat which is produced by the engine and the engine compartment. Okay, so actually, how does the function of the engine? The air will be sucked out, and the fuel and the mixture and the engine works like that. So when the when you get a hot air coming through the air intake system, so plus, and if the ambient temperature is very high, it affects the efficiency of the engine, okay, which produces the horsepower. And we are unnecessarily pressing out the engines because of the aftermarket open filters. Okay. Second one, major complaints is like it can suck sand inside quickly, and it sand can block the filter quickly. So as an off-roader is concerned, my personal opinion, it is not advisable to have an open filter. Okay. And see what when you say about the open filter, all the open filters are called free flow filters. Even when you say free flow filters, the filter sucks air quickly. It means it can suck the sand inside the engine also. So there is a high risk of damaging the engines. Okay. And come to the aftermarket air intake system with the box systems. Okay. Now, there are multiple companies offering air intake systems like Airhead, AFE, Holland, XOIZ. Okay. Now, the thing is, you can choose the best company with having a better air purifications. Okay. There are companies, when they talk about is a free flow, you might have noticed it's very simple. A tip I can give it to you: when you buying an air filter system and you want to replace the air filter, just look into the sunlight or the slide. You can see there are a lot of holes which is visible holes are there, which is not advisable to buy the filters. So it can suck the sun immediately. Okay, there are filters having multiple layers on it. So try to get the multiple layer filter so that it will have the purification better, and it will give you cold air intake feeling. That means the air coming from outside and going to the engine cell. So the performance increases. Okay. It's a certain 14 to 12, 10 to 14 percentage of power increases if you change the aftermarket air intake system. Now, come to the point of air intake aftermarket air intake system with a snorkel. Okay, so why we are all connecting snorkels in this country is not because we are going to the wadis or water to have a ride on the water. No, here basically we are trying to protect our engine by reducing the sand going to the filter. So when you have a snorkel, the snorkel will be placed on a higher side. So the suction of sand will be restricted, and it will protect the engine, and the power will remain still better when you are off-roading time. So this is the main purpose of adding a snorkel for us. And I will advise you go with the aftermarket air intake system having multiple layers on it. There's nothing wrong in it. But I'm not in favor of open filters until and unless you are not off-roading open filter system. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So that's a good answer that a lot of people had a lot of confusion. So it is confirmed that if you have an open air box system, that is not what is good for dune bashing. It might be good for doing in an ice skating, whatever, but not for this region. Connected to that, Rahul asked, before that, I would like to ask Salman Jinder a question. He's been there for a long time. I have a Dodge Ram 1500, that's the model, 2017. I'm planning to install Billington shocks, so I don't need to change the coils. As per this coils, they said no need cause the shock fits the stock coils. Please advise. I'm not sure
Okay,
if I
see,
understood. Yeah, okay.
okay. As a Dodge Ram 1500, the built-in shock absorbers available, and you can use your existing coil springs to fix on it. The good thing about that built-in coil shock absorber, having a spacers on the shock absorber so that you can select the slot from half inch to 1 inch, 1.5 inch is the height of the vehicle by by the lock systems. Okay, so it is advisable. You can go with the Bilstein suspension. It is a good option.
Okay, and Rahul connected with the last question. He said, "What is the difference?" He's just understanding the thing. So he said, "What's the difference between snorkel and a cold air intake? What you recommend as a first upgrade, snorkel or cold air intake? So should I go with the snorkel first, or should I go with the cold air intake?"
Okay, now see the one important issue over here. Now just imagine now you have a original air intake system in your vehicle, and you are adding a snorkel on it. Okay, so you understand that the air sucked out, the engine is sucked the air from the air filter system, which is very close to the engine side of it. Okay, now what happens when we fix a snorkel? The snorkel has a longer length of it, so air passage through a small pipe and coming back to the engine, it takes time, and the quantity of air coming to the engine also restricted. Okay, so what happened? It's better to add a free flow filter and having a multiple layers and aftermarket air intake system. So the suction of air will be higher than the original ones. The original ones will have a lot of restrictions. So that's why we always advise people change to aftermarket one, good quality with a snorkel. So I advise go ahead with aftermarket one with a snorkel.
Okay, Anjay, can we have the next poll, please? Anjay, if you're listening to me. Anjia, can we have the next poll? Okay. What are the basic necessities to either dune bash or overland? Okay, let's see. This was the first poll, I guess. Yeah, no, okay. So it is just to know if people knows what is the basic stuff, whoever is attending. So this will be for dune bashing mainly, and then overlanding. I think 20 seconds more. This is mainly a question asked by most of the people who are doing off-roading for the first time. What is the basic thing that I need to do? Okay, we can stop the poll. So 96% says skid plates, recovery gears, kill switch, radio, flag. This is the basic thing. 43, some other person says lifting with suspension, springs, tires. And a few of them says, I wish to know from you. So can you educate us on this, Shibubai?
Okay, now just imagine a person entering to off-road. Okay, off-roading. So first thing is he'll be selecting a car. Okay, or he may be visited to with his friends to a desert, or maybe wadis, or maybe water, maybe off-roading concern, and he like to enter to the off-road community or off-roading. So he will first select the car. Okay, once after buying the car, see, not a single car in the world coming with off-road capability. Okay, there are cars are coming with a certain modification, but we need to do certain modification before entering to the desert purposes, desert off-roading. Okay, so the first things he need to be having some kind of protection on the vehicle, that he will damage the vehicle by, it's a learning process. So there's a high chance of damaging many components of the vehicle. So we always suggest people, the first thing is to go ahead with a skid plate, which will protect the radiator, condenser, and the engine. Because here, see, just imagine a person coming to the desert. First thing, he will fall into a small ditch unknowingly because he is learning process. So the first thing is to protect his bumper, condenser, and radiator, which is a cooling system. If that get damaged, it can damage to the engine also. So the first thing is we advise the person to change the skid plate. Then, see, as nowadays most of the cars comes with traction, stability, airbag, all this kind of things, which is suitable for on-road purposes, which is not suitable. We don't need it for all off-road purposes. So we need a one kill switch to disable all the tractions and stability. Then, then we need a one walkie-talkie. Basically, communication will be faster so that we can advise the person. You just imagine a person without having a walkie-talkie, he's like a child, doesn't know what he's doing. So he can do wrong things. Even if we wanted to, show some action, still don't understand. He may take it in a wrong direction. So walkie-talkie is very important for us to communicate, bring him to the normal way, or we can communicate to him to do things correctly. Then we need to move to the flagpole, which is everybody know that this is like when you go down to a dune and you get stuck down and the person behind don't see, he can also fall in top of your car. And these are the indications of safety measures. Okay. So as a beginner, as a person who entered to the first time to the desert, we will advise him to change the skid plates and kill switch for ABS, traction and airbag, and walkie-talkie and the flagpole. These are the necessary things irrespective of what level or what he want to do it. But these are things that before he start off-roading, he needs to have these sort of things on his car. Okay. Now come to the second stage of it. Now we start driving to the desert. After 5th or 10th drive, then he will feel, oh, I need something to be upgraded. Okay. So because this is not going to work out for me, as I'm having issues, I'm getting stuck, I'm hitting the cars here and there. So he will be thinking, let's put me a lift kit. So that the next option for a customer, you can go with the 2 to 2.5 inch lift kit, so which will get him a clearance and he'll have a control over the vehicle, and the body roll will be reduced on the vehicle if you have a good suspension, and give him some kind of confident level that it build up that, oh, see, otherwise what happened, a very small hit, he will try to apply the brake unnecessarily, even though you don't need to be applied, but still he'll try to make a mistake. So when you have a better suspensions and little bit height on the vehicle, you will have a confident level, keep moving forward, and it will help him to improve his skills and come up to the next stages of it. Okay. Then when it comes to the third stage is a preference for the off-roaders. Okay. Now you move to the first stage, he learned things. He moved to the second stage, he learned many things. When you come to the third day, he will know that what I like to have in my car. That is the personal choices. He can have multiple things on his as like a beadlock rims, he can add on it. Okay. He can select which tire he wanted to be add on it. Then he can go to the performance side of it, like engine upgrade, gearbox upgrade, differential upgrades, and all these things he can go it. These are the things which is helpful for people. Thank you.
Yes. So we have Shimoli Shinoi, the Suzuki Jimny. I think Shimoli is getting famous because she is very active in all the webinars. Thank you for that, Shimoli. So you have the snorkel for Suzuki Jimny. Do you guys have the snorkel?
See, if you ask a stock, we don't have a stock, but we can arrange a snorkel for her. Not a problem. It's available in the market.
Perfect. So Shimoli, if you're listening, this is your one-stop hub for all your off-roading requirement. So do visit Titan Performance. It is the same question repeated again. Salman, I think the answer is clear. Do you recommend a snorkel for RAM? Of course, I believe, I don't know if that model has an issue. Could you enlighten us?
I will advise the RAM also have a nice snorkel coming. It's AEV snorkel which is available. You can use it. It's very good for the vehicle.
Okay. Joseph Raphael would like to know your suggestion regarding to lift 2 to 2.5 inch of a Pathfinder R51.
See, the Pathfinder, there are certain limitation on certain vehicles. Okay, example, Pathfinder and the Nissan Armada. This vehicle, the suspensions are very small in sizes. Okay, so there is a is a limitation to increase the height more than 1.5 inch. Okay, the thing is, if you go more than 1.5 inch, you need to change the axles and you need to do certain modification to the vehicles. Okay, but if you ask me, not possible. It's possible to increase the suspension to 2 to 2.5 inch. We can do it, but as I see, there are certain things which you can do it as a natural way of doing it. There are certain things you have to do the modification way to fix the suspension. It is possible to fix the suspension.
Um, that's a funny question. I want the Vision X Lite. Please help me win. Salman, just wait.
Vision X Lite is not a problem, guys.
No. Yeah, I mean,
As official distributor of Vision X Lite, we don't mind as a who participated on this particular today's event. We are ready to give 15% discount on all the members who joined on today's webinar. Okay, so as I told you that Samir will be having the full record. We also will have a full record. Whoever want to have a lights of Vision X, we can give you 15% discount. Please, guys, avail this discount. This is one of the best light in the world, and it is made in America. And you get 10 years warranty also.
Yeah, so that was the next question. Is it made in Spain or USA? So it's made in USA.
In USA.
Yeah. So that's a great opportunity, guys. I have already shared all your list. So whoever is in that list will get a special offer. In fact, we had about 70 people registered for this webinar, which is one of the biggest that we have ever seen. Zoaib Khan asked, what general car maintenance to be done after every off-road drive or dune bashing? What is the general maintenance that we need to do?
See, okay, I had to clarify. I need to give some kind of guidance to my off-road friends. See, after every drive, okay, you have to clean the air filter system. That is a must. Okay, so and see now, just imagine Friday morning or afternoon, you went for the desert driving, then you will be at home. The next day morning, before you start the car, please check the water level and the oil level. It's very important because see, there are new cars, the oil level also comes down because we do crazy driving in the desert. So it is not the mistake of the vehicle or the burning, let's say there's a problem with the engine, but it is a common phenomenon. Like we are, see in the desert, we are pushing to the max, that we are hitting always the 6,000 RPM. So there is a slight burning of oil. That's a normal thing. But I advise everyone the next day of the after the drive, early morning, when before starting the vehicle, please check the water level and the engine oil level. Because what happens? You don't know there is water leakage or oil is consumption is more. You don't understand. You may say, oh, I just did the oil 2 weeks before only. How come this happened? No. See, as I told you, we are off-roaders. The usages are extreme usages. So in order to protect your vehicle, you should also have some kind of time to be spent on your vehicle. So you need to make sure that every drive, you need to clean the air filter system, which is a mandatory. It is a must. You need to clean the filter. See, on some vehicle, you might have noticed there's a vibration on the same day or the next day morning when you start the car. Because why? The filter is get blocked. So it's like a suffocation for the engine. So the air is not going, the performance affected. So you need to, first thing has to be done to clean the air intake system. The second one, you need to check the water level, the coolant system. Okay. Then the third one, you need to check the engine oil level. These three things is a mandatory. If you can check this one periodically, and this will protect your car for a long time. Another important thing I want to give you on when you are while driving. Okay, suppose you want for a desert off-roading. Now, after half an hour or 45 minutes, you'll have a 5 minutes to 2 minutes break. You will be getting it. I will advise everybody, please open the bonnet and have a look. Everything is intact on the engine compartment. Because see now what is happening. We are fixing aftermarket air intake system. Okay. You may be cleaning the air filter yourself. Okay. May you forget to tie it properly and the hoses comes out, then the sand can go to the engine. So it's a precaution when you stop the car for a break or a first break, open the bonnet and see, oh, everything is fine. To make sure to protect your car from any kind of further damages. So these are the things normally I observe. See, when I go to the off-roading, I check myself every brake, oh, everything is intact. Okay. So because the way we drive in the desert, so we don't know. We are jumping, hitting, all this. So there's a high movements of engine movements happening on the vehicle, so that these all things can be moved from it. So we need to make sure everything is intact to protect your vehicle. That's all.
Okay, so someone is looking for a serious upgrade. Mithun Maman, he asked, "Hey Shivu, what is your suggestion in upgrading to a V8 F-150 single cab from an FJ Cruiser? Looking for your comments on maintenance and accessory cost."
See, as Ford F-150 single cab, if it is a two-door vehicle, is a really good car, having a 5.0 engine. It's good torque and horsepower. And you need to do three things. If you do, it is better. First thing is you need to do a skid plate on it, and you need to have a kill switch on it. Then you need a nice suspension, very important, because this car in the front is having more weight, the rear doesn't have much of weight. So if you select a very good suspension and having a proper wheels and tires, then this car is one of the best car you will enjoy. And oil cooler is a must. Oil cooler is a must. So I will suggest to add a oil cooler before you enter to the desert, because I've seen this all American trucks, there's a transmission issue coming because of the temperature problem. So oil cooler on Ford F-150 and GMCs, these are mandatory. This, if you do all these things, your car is one of the best car.
Yeah. Jito Thomas asks, are differential drop kits important? Why is it coming bundled with only toy tech suspension?
See now, why you first of all, why you want to know, why you wanted to install that transfer the differential drop kit. Now just imagine what is the purpose of differential drop kit is basically when you increase more than the specified height of the vehicle. Once you increase the height of the vehicle more than what is meant to be, then what happens? Your front axles, the axles stretch to the max, then the axles has a limitations. So when the wheels travel downward, the axle now is stretching downward too much, there's a high chance of breaking the axles. Okay. So in order to avoid, the easiest way of doing to make the axle straight, we need to bring the differential down. So when you bring the differential down, we need to add a spacer to bring the differential down to level the axles not get damaged. Other than that, no, see, it is not mandatory. See, it's a garage, it's a good garage who's installing the suspension will understand that whether it is required to have a differential drop or not. If it doesn't require, see, just imagine our kit is coming with a differential drop kit. Now just imagine, now a company is fixing a differential, you are bypassing adding a spacer and making down unnecessarily, which is not required. Okay, now it is required, definitely we need to do, otherwise why we need to having angle variations of the suspension. Okay, so I see, as a toy tech is concerned, they are giving as an option. Okay, some people, what happened, they want to increase the height of the vehicle more, which is not meant, but people wanted to increase it. Okay, in that particular scenario, so when the height of the car goes up, the axle variations come in. So when you have to balance the axle variation, you need to have a differential drop kit, which is to level the axles. So it is not mandatory until unless it need to be. Okay, so it is not a mandatory stuff. This is all depend upon the technicians and the garage, whether they will check the vehicle, whether it is required, need to be added. Otherwise, no need.
Perfect. We have more questions. Is it recommended to have wiring holes, for example, Kiko on the skid plates, or it doesn't do anything? So wiring holes for it was not clear, Kiko. Shibubai, did you understand the question?
No, question is not clear.
Okay, so we'll go to the next one. What is the service package offered by Titan?
See, as a service package is basically on a service is concerned for a 6-cylinder vehicle, we are charging 350 to 450 for a 10K oil. Okay, depend upon the company. Okay, we are using 3 different companies. One is a Castrol oil, the second one mobile one, and third one motor oil. Okay, so all these oils are fully synthetic oil, and it is a 10K oil. And for the mutual and motor oil, we are charging 450 dirhams. And for the Castrol and mobile one, 350 dirhams for a V6 engine. For a V8 engine, it is 450 to 600 dirhams, depend upon the oil. And this consisting of multiple inspections and greasing and lubrications, all of them. As you guys know that our garage is off-road garage, so we have certain areas to be closely monitored. So all the technicians will be checking the entire stuff of the vehicles, and it to be corrected, we will be doing the corrections.
Yeah, Shimoli, does the Gemini need skid plates for the engine? She said engineer, I think this engine typo error, and gear, or only the radiator as structure is similar to Jeep. So she's asking if what type of skid plates, extended skid plates, to cover up all the gear and all that stuff, or to have a small skid plates.
See, actually, for a Suzuki Jimny, there are three different skid plates are coming, which is for the front area, which is a condenser radiator. Then comes to the engine side of it. Then the last one, the transfer case side of it. So that's depend upon the customer to customer, depend what is the usage on it. If it is a rock rolling and wadi drive, we will suggest to add all three of them. If it's only for off-roading and the sand dune bashing, is only front is enough.
Yeah, B. Johnston asked a question. Transmission coolers, how important it is for off-roaders? If you can make it quick, I think.
Okay. See, transmission oil cooler is why it is important, because see, just imagine now we all are off-roaders. We go to the desert, we deflate the tire pressure to the 10 to 15 PSAs, and we use the tectonic gear 1, 2, 3, 4, depend upon the terrain. Okay. Now what is happening over here? See, with the engine, we are giving more pressure to the gearbox because we are quite often shifting the gear from 1, 2, 3 continuously. So there is a high chance of oil getting heated up internal gearbox internally. And the gearbox is very sensitive part components on a vehicle is concerned. Okay. So there are multiple components involved on to manufacture a gearbox. So when the oil, see, and the main blood of this transmission is the oil. And once the oil heated up, then the viscosity goes, it can damage your gearbox quickly. So see, as a Toyota vehicle, if you look at it now, one simple example I can give you: a person first time coming to the desert, he's driving the car on a D, okay, instead of a Triptonic. Let him drive for 10 minutes. Immediately, the light will be the hot oil lights immediately pop into that dashboard. Why? Because it is shifting continuously left 1, 2, 3 like that. So the oil gets heated up, then the power of the gearbox loses, then the engine and power out, everything will be affecting it. Plus, and it can damage your gearbox quickly. So I strongly recommend all the off-road vehicles should have a transmission oil cooler. Even if you look at American vehicle, it has been affected the transmission as well the transfer case. So, but when the transmission oil cooler is installed, there's a lot of changes happening to the vehicle performance too. So I'm strongly recommending all the off-road guys, please go ahead with the transmission oil cooler. You will 100% benefit of it.
Yeah, in between, there are people who has raised their hands. I'll go to these people. They've been raising their hands for a long time. But there is an ID which is called as the Lenovo SST. I won't be permitting IDs which are unknown. Sorry for this, because it's purely will permit only people who has the names. So I have Arif Bhai, who's a good friend of mine. He runs a club called as Desert Nation. We'll be allowing him to talk if he has questions, and if you would like to introduce the club. I think Desert Nation is a very nice club for the it's a family oriented drive. So let me allow Arif Bhai to come here. Hello. Yes, Arif Bhai, can you hear me?
Hi, good afternoon, gentlemen and lady or ladies. What's up, guys?
Welcome, Arif Bhai.
Yes, I. So it's just going to be my voice there, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Not.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
That's
we
all
can
right.
hear.
No problem. Okay. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to come on air with you guys on this webinar. You guys are doing a great service to the off-roading community. I follow your WhatsApp page. A lot of questions are thrown out there to you guys, and then you've got a big list of experts, including people like Mr. Shibu from Titan, and then there's Saad from Radical, and Mr. Samir Deepak from Bahwan. It's a great platform. I think you guys are doing a great service to everybody. So questions, I really don't have a lot of questions at the moment, but the one thing is the JK, before the Pentastar. Okay, I'm just saying this, asking this question so that if someone else is listening, they can find. I know the answers, but I'd like the experts to give a better answer to the one that I have. So these 2008 Wranglers from before Pentastar, the JKs, they always have a heating issue, okay, and they also have transmission issues, okay, and there's not a lot of power being transferred to the axles. The engine is bigger than the Pentastar, okay, but it is married to a very weak or a weaker transmission. So what can be done to a pre-Pentastar JK to enhance its performance in the desert? So you've got so many people out there buying these cheap ones because the price range is between 25 to 35,000. That's a very attractive price. And we've got so many people buying these cars, showing up in the desert, and then having a concern is, why isn't my JK doing the same as the other JK? And then we try and explain to them the difference in the engine, and then we have to get them to do the modifications. So, gentlemen, your stage.
Okay. I hope the question is clear, Shibu bhai.
Yes. See, in Jeep Wrangler, JK's launched in 2007. Okay. And the 2007 till 2011, the engine is 3.8 engine. Okay. That particular engine doesn't have much of power on it. Okay. And the gearbox having issues because actually it was a manufacturing issue, which the company was not taking care of the transmission well. And within 6 months' time, the company recalled all the vehicles in the Middle East, and they added a transmission oil cooler. Okay, so many people lost their transmission because of there's no oil cooler on the transmission. So and the company recall in UAE and globally recall, and they added a transmission oil cooler. After that, this issue was sorted out. Okay, regarding the temperature, water temperature, there will be some mechanical issues on it. Otherwise, the car is okay because this particular vehicle have a electrical fan as well as clutch fan. So when the temperature reach to certain level, the manual fan also will be activated. Then the temperature issues will be sorted out. Okay. Now the question is how we can improve the performance of this vehicle.
Yes.
Okay. I can give certain suggestion to you, like certain I've seen many cars coming here and without having a transmission oil cooler, and they have issue with the temperature problem. So the first solution in a vehicle doesn't have a transmission oil cooler. It's a must to have a transmission oil cooler. That oil cooler should be a very big size oil cooler also. Okay. The second one is like there are a lot of upgrade on the differential side of it. Now the differential is coming 3.73. You can go to 410 or 456, depend upon what tire you are running on it. Okay. Then there is a program which is a bully dog. I tried many vehicles with the bully dog systems, which enhance the power of the engine, as well as you can have some kind of RPM increasing can be done on the bully dog, and the shifting of the gear
Shibu bhai, sorry, there's a break. There's a break in voice. Can you repeat that again?
we can install the bully dog system on a 3.8 engine. It will enhance the power power as well as it enhances the RPM of the vehicle, and the shifting of the gears will be delayed, and you can select the shifting of RPM, it can be selected on the bully dog, and you can change the ring and pinion sizes to get the more power on it, and plus air intake system. These are the only things you can do it. Apart from that, nothing. But there are people using this vehicle. Now I understand that there are plenty of vehicle in the market with the cheaper prices. But at the same time, I request everyone, the unlimited one, please don't buy, because whatever you do on modification is not going to help it out. So a person who is buying two-door, it is possible, and you can do this kind of modification, then I think this is the best solution I can give it to by, I will repeat once again, adding air intake systems and enhancing the differential ratios, and adding a oil cooler for transmission, and adding a bully dog plug and play unit, and that's all. That's the only thing I can help on this vehicle, because there's high limitation on this vehicle to be modified to get what you expected. Thank you very much.
Thanks. If you can just give me 1 minute. Yeah. So there's four salient points here. So this is for the record. I can see there's a record light up on the right-hand side of the screen. This is going to be viewed by so many people. It'll be a great help. How much would all of this cost, like a budget figure? Because most of these vehicles are US imports at the moment. The ones that were purchased within the UAE with the Gulf specs had the vehicles recalled, and some of them actually have the cooler that you're talking about. But some others, the ones that are imported, don't have it. So just a budget price, so we keep it in the back of our mind, and we know that Titan Performance is going to charge us X, Y, Z. If you are okay to give that figure out.
Sure, Arif. This I think we will discuss after this event, because I need to work out the pricings, what all things to be needed to the vehicle. I can just estimate you, and we will help them to give a better ratings to Anyway, there's already bought the vehicle. They can't spend a lot of money on the vehicle. I understand that the scenario I faced also with the many customers coming here after buying, and unfortunately they are all into the in the wrong side of it. So it's our moral responsibility to help them out.
And to their surprise, when we tell them, bro, it looks the same, but it isn't the same.
And first of all, you mentioned me, it's American spec. There are a lot of challenges, because in American spec, there are a lot of issues coming on this vehicle, even though the Pentastar itself is having a lot of issues with American spec vehicles. Anyway, we will work with you. Okay, once our meeting is done, then I will be preparing an estimation. Then we will discuss in person. Okay, Musharif?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shibu. Thank you so much, Samir. This is Arif going on mute from Desert Nation. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Harif. So that was nice. If anybody wants to have a voice chat, it is open now. You can come to the voice chat, guys. I see a lot of people are been joining in. A lot of people has been joining in. So it's a great opportunity to ask question to the Titan team. Yeah. So the other thing is we have few more questions left. That's it. Mamachan, do you recommend to upgrade Fox suspension, which is originally in Raptor? I think he has it. Do we get a special price on kill switch, additional transmission code, etc.? So do you think Fox is the stage one is okay, or do you think that it's better to go with something, some better suspension?
Okay, regarding the Fox suspension on a Raptor, I don't know whether it's a generation 1 or generation 2. Okay, if it is a generation, okay, let's consider both of them, generation 1 or generation 2. Both the vehicles comes with the Fox suspension on it, but I will advise to upgrade a suspension, 3.0 suspension. You can go ahead with the Icon suspensions or King suspension. These two suspensions are very good, because we have sold plenty of to the Raptor community, and they are extremely happy with the vehicles. And adding a transmission oil cooler is the best option. See, whereas what happened in the new models comes with the EcoBoost engine. Okay, so there, if you change the intercooler systems and stuff, it will be benefit for you. And there is a MPT tuner, and many options are there. We can help you out, and if you can contact us directly, then we can work out for you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I can. The guy repeats the question. He meant in skid plates. Can I make circles to for cooling the air? You know, so is it recommended to make circles in the lower part of the skid
See,
plates?
okay, now regarding skid plate, I think so many people are making skid plate in the market. So see, we are specialized making skid plate depend upon vehicle specifications and the way the vehicles are being used on the desert and what all the area need to be taken care, getting the cooler air inside. If you look at the vehicle, how the designs of the vehicle, always the heats are dispersed on the lower side of the vehicle. Okay, that means the skid plate area is very important on any vehicle because all the heat from the top coming down and dispersing through the floor. Okay, this is how the systems are built. So what we do always, we will always make sure that there's enough ventilation to the vehicle, to the skid plates, having a dimple type punching so that the skid plate also will be made stronger so it will not get bent easily. Okay, so all this is depend upon vehicle to vehicle. We have a specific designs which will not be affecting the temperature problem, which will help to disperse the heat automatically. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I can see SB filter in the background. Do you have a JL Rubicon hood scoop for a JL Rubicon? Uh, is it risky to have in the desert? Is it possible to do custom route from scope to factory airbox?
Yes, we can do that. See, as our kind of usage is always better to have a hood scoop. That see, there are two ways of hood scoop. One is pushing air from outside to the inside, and the heat will go down by pushing the outside air. There's another one that the inside heat air has to go out. So there are in and out. So depend upon vehicle to vehicle, we can make a hood scoop and we can do the ventilation systems. It is always advisable to have a ventilation system to cool down the engine compartment, especially when you talk about Jeep Wrangler, the engine compartment is so congested, so it is very difficult the heat to disperse. So to have a ventilation is very useful.
Okay, the Jitu Thomas asks Shibu, quick question. What oil do you recommend for FJ? OW30, 5W30, 5W40, OW40.
See, depend upon the see when you talk about oil. See, now we are on a peak summer. In a peak summer, I recommend the Toyota vehicles go with the 5W40. Okay, those who are off-roading. Now it is a normal on-road purposes. 5W30 is recommended. Please advise don't go to 5W20. I'm having customers changing 5W20, which is not at all acceptable, not at all good for the Toyota vehicle. So please stick on to 5W30 or during summer 5W40 is recommended.
Yeah, what is the difference between tuning a shock absorber and rebuilding a shock absorber?
Okay, there are two things. What you talk when we talk about shock rebuild. When you say rebuild means, see, after 1.5 years or 2 years, the shock the oil inside the shock will get damaged because of the usage in the desert. So it is called rebuild. Rebuild means we open the shock absorber internal components and we change all the seals and shims, and we will be changing the hydraulic oil and cleaning and servicing and fixing. That is called rebuild. Now, when you talk about retuning means it's a personal choices. Now, example, now you fix the suspension 6 months back, and now you added a bumper and a winch on the vehicle. Then your suspension functionality will not be that great as what you have earlier. So there we need to work to retune the suspension to understand the vehicle capacity and weight of the vehicle to tune the suspension as per the specification of the vehicle. That is called tuning. Okay, so this depend upon many kind of parameters. Some people they wanted to use very aggressive on the road on the desert. Then we need to do a special valving system for the customers. So that is basically known as tuning. Okay, so when you say rebuild means opening the shock absorber, change the oils, and change all the seals and and become a new suspension after doing this servicing. This is basically a service. It's called rebuild.
Perfect. Though all the questions are over, one question from my end to educate the audience. We know that you are dealers for certain wheels, rims that you are selling. You have the beadlock rims. First thing is, could you tell us more about the rims that you're using, the agency that you're providing for certain rims? Second is using a lightweight rims for off-roading. Do you recommend a lightweight rims, or do you look for a heavy rim which is good for off-roading, especially FJ and Jeep?
Okay, see, we are the official distributor of 4 major brands. One is Fuel Rims and KMC and XD and Black Rhino. These are the 4 different company rims we are dealing with it. And why we select these rims? Basically, they are one of the oldest company in US manufacturing and been participating many rallies, and this one of the best company and having thousands of design on it. Okay, and quality is concerned. This this products doesn't they don't compromise on qualities. And we have multiple beadlock rims which is already tested and proven, and we will be getting a warranty of 2 to 3 years warranty also given by the rims. None of the wheels are being given. Other companies are given warranty, but these wheels are given warranty for the product. Okay, and regarding the weight of the wheels, this is compared to the other competitors. The wheels are lighter, and see another question here now. When you talk about weight, when weight is concerned, like what is your requirement? Okay, now I see now the current trend in the market. People asking, I need 38-inch minus offset. I need 44-inch minus offset. Okay, see, there are certain sizes of wheels are not suitable for your vehicle. So please, I advise you first come to the specialist and ask what are your requirements, and talk to them and get proper information before you conclude or buy a rim. So we can help you out to get you the best suitable rim for your vehicle. And as I mentioned to you, Fuel, XT, KMC, and Black Rhino wheels. So we have too much of options on it. So you can select which one you like it.
Perfect. So we are done with all our question answer session. There is no more. I think we have everything is answered. Shibubhai, thank you very much for spending some time with us. We are greatly honored to have you guys here. So now let's go to the interesting stuff, guys. I think we have got a few people left and few people no. But before that, yeah, let's do a poll to rate this webinar. After that, we'll have the interesting pricing session, which will be done by Shibubhai and team. Few more minutes to go. I think this presentation went beyond an hour, which was really great. A lot of information was shared, and a lot of people could get a lot of help out of this. This will be shared in YouTube for guys to watch this offline, and it will be helpful for a lot of people to join in. So how do you rate this webinar? Most excellent. We got the higher standard. Then we also have very good, and we also have good, not bad. We don't have not to my expectation, need a lot of improvement. I'm very happy to have this poll, and we are very happy that people are liking what we are doing, and I mean, it's good educative purpose, which is actually helping them to have the right products, right suppliers who does the take care of a vehicle in the right way. So let me hand over for the pricing session to Shibubhai and team. So guys, yeah, it's your call now. Let's see who are the lucky winners for the raffle draw. Yeah.
Yeah, we entered a raffle draw once we received all the names last week of all the participants.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with the flags. So
Okay.
courtesy of Wolf Off-Road, we're giving away 2 flags. The first person is Akif Altaf, who gets a flag.
Can you repeat the name again?
Akif Altaf.
Akif Altaf. Akif Altaf, can you raise your hands, please? You have won something. Akif Altaf, if you're hearing us. Akif, if you're hearing us. Yeah, allowed to talk. Okay, hold on. Let me allow him to talk. Hold on. Unmute. Akif, can you hear us? Or you can type, I mean, if you're hearing us. Okay, I think he is there. So we can, so congrats, Akif. You are the first winner. You have his email ID. So you guys would be able to email him. He's there in the panel. I think he's not able to understand how to raise the hands, I think. Anjia, can you unmute Akif Altaf? Anjia, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I've already unmuted. I guess he's probably busy on another call or something like that.
Okay, not a problem. Not a problem. So congrats again, Akif. Who will be the next person?
The next winner of the Wolf flag is Alan Thomas.
Alan Thomas. Congrats, Alan Thomas. You are the winner for the Wolf product. Can you come to the mic, please, Alan? Alan Thomas. Anjay, can you mute all the people whom we are selecting?
Yes, I'm already doing that.
Okay. Alan Thomas, can you hear us?
Yeah, hello.
Congrats, Alan. You are the winner.
Thank you.
So what he's going to win is the Wolf, Saeed.
The Wolf recovery flag, which comes in 2 pieces, which you can mount onto your car.
Perfect. Alan, happy?
Yeah, good.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. So next.
We're moving on now to the Wolf.
Can you mute? Okay. Yeah. Next person.
Now we're moving on to the Wolf soft shackles.
Okay, perfect. So next is the Wolf soft shackle. So let's see who's the lucky guy to get it.
So winner number 1 is Jitu Thomas.
Jitu Thomas, the one who used to ask a lot of questions. Jitu, are you there this time to ask questions? Can you unmute Jitu? Please come to the mic. Jitu Thomas, can you come and speak? Hi, Jitu. Jitu, can you hear us? Just unmute your... Yes, Jitu. Yes, go on.
Jitu might be a little bit shy.
Jitu is a shy. You know him, by the way. Okay. Jitu.
We'll go to the next one.
Yeah, we'll go to the next one. So congrats, Jitu. Your name is there. You'll be emailed if you are not coming to the voice. Who's the next person?
Mr. Dominic Lobo.
Dominic Lobo is a friend of mine also. Dominic is actually in India. So because he got stuck in the Corona situation. And
hey, thank you very much.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Dominic.
So Dominic, your soft shackle will give it to Samir. He can collect it for you. So that's not a problem. So when you get back, you can call.
Thank you.
You won't be lucky to get it back, Dominic, from me.
Unused. I need it unused. Yeah. I mean, from Samir. I mean, others. Samir will for sure give it to someone else.
Just kidding. It's fine. Not a problem.
Number 3 is Mr. William Davis.
Who's that? Can you repeat the name again?
Mr. William Davis.
Mr. William Davis. Yes, he's here. Mr. William, can you come on mic, please? Mr. William.
They're all shy. Not a problem. They can receive their awards later. Mr.
Yes.
As well.
Okay, so William, I think he's there on the mic. Let me see. William, are you there? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Yes,
Hi,
William.
Hi, Samir.
Congratulations on the soft shackles.
Congrats for winning soft shackles.
Thank you.
You can collect it from us anytime this week and hopefully use it in the desert. And then number 4 is Mr. Justin Lloyd.
Number 4 is Justin Lloyd. Justin Lloyd is here. Justin, can you come to the mic, please?
Hi, Samir.
Hi, Justin. How are you?
Hi, Syed.
Congrats for winning the prize.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Then number 5.
Really a surprise.
Number 5 is Mr. Arif Lambada again.
Mr. Arif Bhai. Arif Bhai, you have won this time. Can you come to the mic? Arif Bhai. Anjay, can you mute? Yeah, we'll move on to the second one.
So now we're going to the ARB digital tire inflators.
So the big surprise is coming up. ARB digital. Yeah, okay.
We have 2 winners for that. One is Shimon, I believe, the Jimny lady.
Shimoni, are you there? You have won something. Shimoni, can you come?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, congrats. You have won something now.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we look forward to see you at Titanperformance. Hopefully you can pick
Definitely, definitely. By the way, thank you so much. You have cleared so many of my doubts. This was really helpful.
That's what we're here for. Now, the last, but not before the big prize, is Rahul Nair.
Rahul Nair.
Wins,
Rahul Nair. Come on to the stage, please. Rahul, can you hear us?
Hi, Raj. Thank you very much.
So you
much
have
appreciated.
Congrats, you have win something, yeah?
So
very happy.
The big winner of the raffle draw, and this is just picked randomly, was Kiko for Life.
Oh, Kiko.
He won the Vision X Optimus Halo Lights.
Kiko, come to the stage, please. You're the biggest winner.
Yo, thanks a lot. Didn't expect that, bro. All right, hello everyone. Amazing, mashallah.
Kiko has, I think I have to speak a little bit about Kiko because he's the big winner. So yes, he has this highly modified and Jeep with a lot of decorations. Nobody can miss Kiko because you see his Jeep, you know he's Kiko.
So yeah, we look forward to all of you guys this week, so you guys can collect your prices. So when you do come to Performance, ask for myself or Mr. Shibu, and we'll be happy to see you all.
Thank you very much, guys. That's it for today, and we are very happy to have all of you here. We will be binding this up, and we'll have more webinar session in the future. And I thank the Titan Performance and team for allowing us and giving us the time. We are very happy. I think Anjia, could you mute other panelists, please? It's not muted.
Thank you.
Anjia, could you mute all the panelists? Okay. So Shibubai, thank you very much, and Saeed, thank you very much for coming for this webinar.
Thank you very much, guys, for spending time with you guys. Hope everybody enjoyed, and thank you very much. We'll see you in person.
Sure.
Thank you. Peace out, guys. See you.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, take care.